Acoustic Crossroads is brought to you by the Team One Automotive Group, Riverview Regional Medical Center, and Family Savings Credit Union. Now, here's Kelli Johnson.
Welcome to Kelli's Acoustic Crossroads. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. My guest today is Mark Harris from Birmingham, and we're going to hear some of his original music coming up. But right now I'm going to start off with one of mine. This is called Feels Like Coming Home. Muddy water flowing through my soul, can't wash away my sins. Lonesome feeling deep inside my bones, don't know when I'll be back again. But the miles I put behind me, they ain't as far as the ones that lie ahead of me. Won't you set me free, Mississippi? When I heard that voice, I knew it was my own Mississippi. So deep and simple, all I've ever known. It feels like coming home. Now I don't know why this road keeps winding on. I guess I can't be satisfied. And you know I'm just like a rolling stone. You change me if you change my mind. And you're trying to hold on now, but baby you can't lose what you ain't never had before. Come on and set me free, Mississippi. When I heard that voice, I knew it was my own Mississippi. So deep and simple, all I've ever known. It feels like coming home. Mississippi. When I heard that voice, I knew it was my own Mississippi. So deep and simple, all I've ever known. Feels like coming home. It feels like coming home. Thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all check out our website, KA Crossroads, and stay tuned for music from Mark Harris. Welcome to Kelli's Acoustic Crossroads. My guest today is Mark Harris, and right now we're going to hear one of Mark's original songs, I Don't Know Why I've Been Missing You.
I've been wondering if you're alright. Where you are, does he treat you nice? I guess I've been missing you. I've been wondering, would he understand like I did when I was your man? I guess I've been missing you. Lately all those memories seem to get the best of me. Thinking about the way we used to be. But don't worry about me tonight. Darling, I'm gonna be alright. Don't know why I've been missing you. I've been thinking about coming around right at the point when you're feeling down. I guess I've been missing you. I've been having these foolish dreams. I taste your kiss and finer things. I guess I've been missing you. Lately all those memories seem to get the best of me. You think about the way we used to be. Don't worry about me tonight. Darling, I'm gonna be alright. Don't know why I've been missing you. Lately all those memories seem to get the best of me. They think about the way we used to be. But don't worry about me tonight. Everything's gonna be alright. Don't know why I've been missing you. Don't know why I've been missing you. Don't know why I've been missing you.
And that was Mark Harris, and he's in the studio with us today. Thank you so much for being with us today, Mark.
Thank you for having me.
I'm excited to have you. So I don't know whether to say you hail from Birmingham or Nashville. You drove in last night from Nashville.
I still spend a lot of time in Nashville. I live in Birmingham.
Gotcha.
But I still spend a lot of time in Nashville, and I perform a lot down at the beach. So Birmingham puts me like right in the middle of the Grayton Beach and Panhandle of Florida, Nashville. So.
Yeah, Birmingham is such a great music town, and it is kind of central to all the other great music towns too.
I agree.
So I was reading a little bit about your bio. You actually were born in Dallas, grew up in Nashville,
Yes.
moved to Florida. So you've pretty much covered most of the major music cities. You were just destined to be a musician, I guess.
I guess, I don't know. And my dad actually had a women's apparel store in Nashville, and a bunch of the country stars shopped at his store.
Cool.
And so I was always around it. I never necessarily thought much about it until I was about 13 and picked up my guitar for the first time. And
that was it. Just started
that was
it
all she wrote.
Yeah. I read that you started playing in clubs in Memphis at 15.
I did.
That's quite a music
Actually, I started playing in
education,
clubs before I knew how to play.
Really?
I learned how to play in front of people.
I did the same thing, so which you can tell by my playing, but your playing is phenomenal and so clean. I love the style.
Thank you.
And I noticed when I watched you perform at Iron City in Birmingham, and you use a lot of the looper pedals and things, but it's so classy and just so clean. It's not like overdriving, and you can't tell you're using looper pedals unless you just know it, because it just sounds so put together. And
what I'm trying to do is not have the science experiment, you know, because I don't know, sometimes you'll see somebody using looping pedal and they take about 3 minutes to set it up, and it's like, okay, there's this science experiment going on here, and then they do something really cool after that. I basically try to only do one part, because there were years where I used it more than I use it now. But the problem is when you stop the looping pedal, if you have too many things going on and you stop it, it sounds like the bottom falls out. But if you have one nice subtle part going on, you can pull it in and out, and it's not as noticeable. So it kills the science project effect.
Exactly. I know exactly what you're talking about there. Your music has been labeled Southern Surf, and I love that term. Tell us how that came about a little bit.
Actually, a photographer friend of mine dubbed it Southern Surf. I think she was listening to some of the California, what they were calling surf, which was Jack Johnson and all that, which I don't really consider that surf. I consider like Miserlou and Dick Dale and you know, the old 60s surf music. But I loved, and actually played in a surf band for a while called the Phantom Five. It was one of the funnest bands I ever played in. Most fun bands I ever played. And
you're in Alabama, that's okay. Funnest is a word.
Okay, sounds good to me. But anyways, I loved it when she said Southern Surf, and to me it meant more like a cross between maybe you know, Merle Haggard with some Dwayne Eddy thrown in there, you know. So that's the way I envisioned it. I don't know if that's the way she saw it, but when she said it, I just said, I'm running with that.
Yeah, it sounds great for somebody to coin your music. They really have a vested interest in it, and maybe it's just that relaxed feel you get from listening to it. It's just easy to listen to.
Thank you.
You mentioned you moved to Nashville, but you actually, well, you grew up in Nashville, then you moved to Florida, and that's kind of where you found your voice, so to speak, and your own style of playing.
Indeed, and I didn't think that was going to happen. I had pretty much spent most of the 90s working as a sideman for country artists, and I worked with a guy named John Berry who had some success, and Leroy Purnell. Short tours with Trace Atkins, Shelley Wright, all kinds of. In Nashville, sometimes you just go out and you'll work with them for 2 weeks and you never work with them again. So I worked with a bunch of people that were just kind of like pick up jobs. And then I guess it was toward the end of the 90s, I felt like I needed to get off the road. I'd bounced around on the bus long enough that I felt like it was time to do something different. And then I discovered the internet. This was about 1997, and everything was really starting to happen with the internet. When it really grabbed my attention was when they started to have streaming media and Real Audio, and I don't know if you remember Real Audio or not, but it was like the original audio player. And once audio hit the internet, I was all about it. And so I tried to learn everything I could about it. And so I really kind of focused on learning website design and doing that in the late 90s, and decided, okay, I'm going to get out of Nashville, because when you grow up in Nashville, I think you're around a lot of personalities that after a while you need to kind of get away and get your own space.
Exactly.
The way I like to talk about Nashville is it's like a regatta. I love to sail and used to sail in school and in college, but you've got windward boats and leeward boats, and a windward boat has the opportunity to pass in front of the leeward boat and basically take their wind. And so I think that's what's going on in Nashville. You've got so many boats on the water, you've got so many people out there doing it, that you have people that are really good that don't really give themselves the time of day sometimes, because their wind is kind of being taken away by Keith Urban or somebody that's got all the big hits. But there's people equally or more so talented than all of the stars that sometimes just really don't give themselves a chance. So it can beat you down.
It can.
And eventually, I just, having grown up there, I wanted to go someplace different. I had fallen in love with the Grayton Beach, Destin area, and moved down there really kind of to escape Nashville and to really focus on website design. So I get down there and I'm in this house that's out in the woods. I can't see the road from the house, and I started writing songs, and things just started happening. I was able to sing loud and make mistakes. And,
Sometimes that's the best way to find your voice.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Just be able to do that. Well, I love your music. We're going to hear some more from Mark coming up after this break. Right now we're going to just take a short break, and we'll be back with Mark Harris. And we're back with my guest, Mark Harris. Mark, I love hearing your music, and I love the story of how you had to move to Florida to kind of find yourself away from Nashville. It's usually the opposite.
Right. Yeah, once we were talking about this, once I got down there, songs started falling out, and the biggest thing was I started playing solo gigs at the beach, and everybody needs an acoustic guitar player to play down at the beach, and I started doing shows, and music just got back in my blood, and then the songs started getting finished, and I just fell back into music all over again.
Oh, that's so great! And you said from one of your beach gigs, you had a chance to to get one of your original songs on the ETV Sunset Tan. So
yes.
How did that come about? That's so cool.
I was at a gig, and that probably should show both of us that you can be at a gig that might not seem like a big deal, and you never know what's going to happen. Somebody come in, it was just a just a pickup gig. It was no big deal. But somebody that was at the show came up and they said, hey, a friend of ours in Tennessee has a farm, and Sunset Tan is coming to shoot at their farm, and they're actually looking for music, and you should submit some of your music. I'd never seen the show before, so I kind of looked it up and got an idea of what they're doing. And I sent a lot of the stuff that I thought might work for this girl, and she didn't like any of it. And then the last thing I sent her was something that she chose to use on the show.
Awesome.
And I actually had an opportunity to go and be part of the show. And we did this whole scene around a campfire where we played music for a couple hours, and then they pulled 10 seconds out of that and used that for the show.
There you go. Well, you're no stranger to having your music and playing on TV. You were in a video with Shania Twain, so that no one needs to know right now out of the movie Twister, right?
Yes, yes. And that was a lot of fun, and she really had a lot of personality. She was a very funny person over the course of the day. The shock was when we got there, we actually had to perform live, and all the guys that were part of the band were actors, and they didn't necessarily know how to play this instrument. So we were scrambling trying to teach people how to play this and that. And the bass player was a bass player, but he hadn't played in 15 years, and it was just kind of a struggle getting all the instruments in tune. But we pulled it together and were able to shoot. And but then the other funny part of the day was that most of the other guys were hired through an agency, and I was hired through the director. And the agency told all the other guys not to talk to Shania. They said Shania didn't want to talk to anybody. And so we get there at 6:30 in the morning. By about 11 o'clock in the morning, she looks around and says, "Why's nobody talking to me?"
That's so funny.
And that was not her saying that at all. The agent was just trying to keep the guys, in control.
Keep them focused,
And she ended up telling jokes, and we just had the best time.
Awesome.
And was actually, she was really a talented acoustic guitar player. We would jam on songs in between, and the highlight was probably jamming on Tequila Sunrise, and she played the rhythm and sang it all the way through, and it's one that I know the lead on and played. And,
well, that's
so it was just
cool.
a good day.
That sounds like an awesome day, and you can see that video on the Birmingham Sessions on AL.com. Right now we're going to feature Mark's original song, Don't Have Time for the Blues.
Early this morning, but no alarm. You woke me again, thoughts out, fighting with you all night inside my head. You got nothing to say, 'cause you know we're around. Time of day, got a million things to do. Don't have time for the blues. Can't this wait till tomorrow? Take it on another day. Wish I could lay in bed and cry myself sleep. I got to keep going, so many bills to pay. This uphill battle is way too steep. Don't have time to waste on any other fool. Don't have time for the blues. Don't have time today, got a million things to do. I don't have time for the blues. Hurry, 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 what you gonna do? Worry, 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 snooze you lose. Don't have time, you see, to tell the truth. We don't have time to lose. Don't have time to waste on any other fool. Don't have time for the blues. I don't have time, got a million things to do. Don't
Welcome back to Kelli's Acoustic Crossroads. I'm here with my guest, Mark Harris. Mark, thank you so much for being here with us today. We've enjoyed your music. We're going to let Mark send us off with one of his original songs, my favorite, I'm Gonna Fly. But y'all make sure you check out markharris.com for more info about Mark's music and his tour dates. And while you're at it, check out kacrossroads.com for info on how to be a guest or how to be a sponsor. And we thank y'all so much for tuning in. Mark, take it over.
I'm gonna fly, maybe tired, and I'm gonna find a peaceful state of mind. Not gonna lie, gonna smile. I'm only leaving for a while. I'm gonna fly with everything inside. You don't need to say goodbye. Not gonna cry. It's been quite a ride. I'm gonna fly. I'm gonna fly. I don't know why we ran out of time. Wish you could leave with me tonight and tell them what I'll find on the other side. It could be paradise. I'm gonna fly with everything inside. You don't need to say goodbye. I'm not gonna cry. It's been quite a ride. I'm gonna fly. I'm gonna fly. I'm gonna fly with everything inside. So dry your eyes. There's no need to cry. It's been quite a ride. Now I'm gonna fly. I'm gonna fly.